afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Velocity Stadium for this FA Women's Cup fourth round game between Oxford United and Charlton Athletic. The two teams are out and we're ready, nearly ready for kick-off here at the Velocity Stadium.
Okay. Minute silence ahead of the game in honour of His Royal Highness Prince Philip.
So before kick-off here at the Velocity Stadium, we'll have a minute's silence after the death of His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh. So ready for kick-off here in the FA Women's Cup. Oxford United hoping to go further in the competition and dump out a championship side in Charlton. And we will have full match commentary on Oxford United's YouTube stream for you here on a sunny day at Oxford City's ground. Oxford United women name an unchanged side from the team that beat Billericay last weekend. All three goal scorers, Johns, Brown and Allen, who scored that absolute worldie and won goal of the round last weekend, all starting. As for Charlton, they last played 2 weeks ago and they make three changes to the side that beat London Bees. Angie Dunbar-Bonney, Jamie Gotch and Beth Lumsden come in for Shauna Vassell, Olivia Smith and the dangerous Ella Rutherford. And alongside me for commentary today, Oxford United club historian and just all-round good bloke, Martin Brodetsky.
Thank you very much, Roy.
Enjoy that introduction. You've seen a lot of Oxford United women this season, even though it has been behind closed doors. Martin, you've snuck in.
Yeah, I managed to get in. Yeah.
Impressed with them?
Very much so, yeah. They play, I mean, they were obviously, before their league was called off, they were second in the league. And I think they were leading on points per game, just behind Watford. So obviously they were all very disappointed when the league was called to a halt. But, yeah, I think they've got it within them certainly to beat a championship side, especially one who's not doing very well, such as Charlton.
Oxford United, of course, in their traditional home strip, the yellow shirts kicking from left to right in this first half, which is underway. Charlton, as you mentioned, in the league above, not had the best season by their standards, but they did secure their safety last weekend with a win over London Bees, and they have a throw in here. It's King, plays it back, and an early chance perhaps for Charlton. That's defended well by Oxford United women, and it's back in by Clifford. And now here's Griffiths. Good early pressure this from the travelling side. Ball in, that's a lovely touch by King, and a Good intervention by Sims. Oxford United still struggling to clear their lines fully. Eventually they do, and it's going to be out for a throw-in. Fast start from Charlton.
Yeah, indeed, and if that ball hadn't gone into the middle, and Dunbar Bonnie made an excellent run on the overlap there, which if she played her in, could have been even more dangerous. But yeah, I mean, I think Oxford will have to do quite a bit of defending, especially as the game draws on for their fitness. Obviously, Charlton have been playing, so maybe their fitness levels might be the difference.
Yeah, speaking to assistant coach Kath Faulkner just before the game, she believes that had Oxford United been able to keep playing, not had the season curtailed, they would really back themselves today. As it is, fitness levels are good, but not quite as good as perhaps they should be. They had a big break in between games, and Charlton do look the sharper early on here. It's a lovely slide rule pass towards Jess King, well shepherded out of play by Sims.
Sims impressed me a lot in the last game against Billericay. I thought she was one of the best players on the pitch, so hopefully she can maintain that form.
Very good defence, Oxford United.
Yeah. They've got that experienced spine as well with Beavers, Haynes and Hines. I mean, those three players could be the key for Oxford.
Some very good technical players as well. But Charlton also have some international players in their ranks, some former youth team players for their countries as well. So not to be underestimated. The touch by Hayes, left back for Oxford United today, out of play for an Oxford throw-in. I think Liam Gilbert, the coach there, is just wanting Oxford United to calm things down, try and get a bit more possession, a few more touches. They'll be used to this surface, Martin, because it's so quick, isn't it?
Well, that's right. Yeah, I mean that is could be a good advantage for Oxford because Charlton, I know they play their home games on a normal pitch, and there can't be that many teams with artificial pitches in the Championship. So yeah, if we can use that to our advantage, we know the bounce, we know the way it zips off the surface.
Here is Kaylee Hines. Absolutely brilliant player for this level.
Yeah, we've got a few of those, to be fair. I think, if there is promotion, we do make it up to the Championship, I don't think we'll be out of place. So.
Well, that's where Oxford United see themselves, isn't it? It's a Championship team.
Yep.
Charlton doing the early running here, but Oxford United have them where they want them. Coombs launches one forward. It's going to be picked up here by the long, rangy Brown for Oxford United. Scored last week against Billericay. Bit of a miscue of a header, and this could be an opportunity, but a heavy touch from Allen. You can see she was disappointed with herself with that one. That was an opening. Yeah,
that was a really good opening. Unfortunately, she didn't quite get her touch right. It's noticeable that the front three, Johns, Allen and McLachlan, are rotating. Daisy McLachlan was in the centre there, and then Johns took over and she moved out to the left wing. So it's a good flexibility.
Long ball down the flank once again, well fielded by Sims. Oxford United just seem to have got into their stride now after a bit of a shaky start. But that ball is cut out here by Hooken, who comes forward. On the left here, Hooken with the cross in, it's deep. It's going to be picked up by Sulola. Good intricate play from Charlton. Sulola with the cross in, and an easy take for Rose Kite.
She's another player that's impressed me a lot, the goalkeeper. I think she's been very solid and very calm under pressure as well.
She's a former England under-19 international, good pedigree. Always had good goalkeepers, actually. Demi Lambourne, promoted with Leicester just a couple of weeks ago. McLachlan battling for it. And here is Oxford United's number 7. Haynes, the skipper, trying to poke it forward. Does well to win it back. It's a good turn away by Sulola. Now here's Lumsden. And Dunbar Bonnie. Plays it out to the far side.
That's Powell, I think.
Closed down by Allen. Not the greatest of clearances, and the shot straight into the midriff of Kite. It's another opportunity, but Oxford United won't mind Charlton taking shots from that sort of distance.
Well, no, that's right. I mean, obviously, like you say, with Kite in goal, you take it something very special to beat her from that range. I think Oxford need to be a bit more careful in possession. They do give it away a bit cheaply sometimes, and that's something that Charlton may be able to take advantage of.
Over the top, McLaughlin's there, and safety first from Jamie Gotch.
Yeah, that was good play. It relieves the pressure a bit as well. I mean, Charlton's starting to get a bit camped in the Oxford half, and it's good to get them back up the pitch when Oxford want to be at.
7 minutes gone, still 0-0. It's going to be picked up by Johns here. Hines. She can hit them from range, we know that. Tried to slip in Allen. Her pass intercepted, and now here come Charlton with King, signed in the summer from Lewis, and is the joint top scorer with just 5 goals in the championship this season. Goals hard to come by from this team. But they are under new management, just the 4th game in charge for Karen Hills, and a vastly experienced coach and a former Charlton player herself. Won the FA Cup in 2005 with Charlton, and was most recently the Spurs manager. Got them all the way to the top into the WSL, so a real coup for Charlton.
Yeah, they've got a very good pedigree, Charlton. I was looking at their history recently, and in the sort of the mid-2000s, they reached 3 consecutive FA Cup finals, and they were one of the top teams in the country at that time.
Well, you look at some of their former players, likes of Eni Aluko, Casey Stoney, players who've racked up the caps. That is a fantastic little flick from Johns, full of confidence, tries to find McLaughlin. Again, that's seen out of play. And it's going to be a goal kick to Charlton. You ever played on one of these pitches, Martin?
Not at any great level, but yeah, no, I've played on the 3G next door a couple of times, and
you get horrible carpet burn.
You come away covered in those little black rubber bullets.
Yeah, everywhere in your house for months.
And if you're not careful, you can get ankle injuries and knee injuries. It's not a very forgiving surface, I don't think.
But it's been great for this community, hasn't it?
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
And the fact you always know, no matter what the weather, the game will not be called off.
That's right. If you remember the old grass pitch they used to have here at Court Place Farm, very rare to get a game on, even with sort of a medium amount.
I remember they ended up having 6, 7, 8 games to play at the end of the season, didn't they?
Right,
after Christmas of harsh weather.
So yeah, it's been brilliant, not just for the community, but for all the professional teams and semi-professional teams that play here as well. I mean, Oxford United use it, the men's team use it for training quite regularly as well, so good for a lot of people.
Beautifully controlled by Hines. Now Johns. This is good from Oxford United. Couldn't quite find McLaughlin, and Charlton come away with it. Really good game this, good to watch. High quality. Dunbar Bonney, the diminutive right back, coming forward. Now here's Powell. Dunbar Bonney once again. Understand she's usually a midfielder, playing as a makeshift right back. That's a decent looking cross, and Haynes gets her head to it. United will come away with it. They've lost it there, and it's a throw in to Charlton.
Yeah, it has been an entertaining game, although I'm not sure that the managers would necessarily agree with that. I think it's a bit too open, especially when Charlton come down the wings. They look very, very threatening.
You could say that about both teams, actually.
Sure.
Very pacey.
Yeah.
Interesting that they've started. McLaughlin looks like she's the furthest forward for Oxford United, and she has generally been playing on the wings, hasn't she?
Well, that's right, yeah. She was certainly in the last 3 or 4 games that I've seen her play, she's been on the right wing. She's a very powerful player, got a lot of strength and not too bad ball control either.
Just couldn't quite pick out a teammate there. Dunbar Bonnie all the way back to the goalkeeper, who'll have time and space to pick out the pass she wants. Eartha Cummings, former Scotland youth international. Dunbar Bonnie once again closed down by Daisy McLaughlin. Here is Huken. 5 goals in the championship this season, the dangerous left back. Here she comes away from Johns. Lumsden. Johns gets a foot in.
Been given us a corner. I didn't see from this angle whether it went past the flag or not. So.
It's not a bad view here. It's also slightly scary. There is a potential to be hit by a ball where we are, Martin.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
You didn't have to bring the crashed helmet though. That was a bit OTT.
Never know when it might come in handy.
You just always have it on you, don't you, just in case.
Just in case.
And your boots as well, but hopefully they won't be required today. So corner kick for Charlton. Very congested, surrounding Rose Kite, the goalkeeper. The referee's got her eyes on that melee in the middle there. It's a very good delivery and it's an excellent piece of goalkeeping from Kite.
Decent clearance by Cat Beaver as well at the end of it. So yeah, well defended for Oxford there.
Reminiscing the last time Oxford United got this far, back in 2013, they played Everton in the 5th round at the Kassam Stadium. What a day that was.
I remember it well, beating Newcastle on the way to that game as well, also at the Kassam Stadium.
What a run it was. Now up against Jill Scott, Nikita Paris, Tony Duggan that day.
Yeah.
A wonderful occasion. Ultimately, yes, being beaten and beaten well, but what a run.
Yeah. 5th round is the furthest Oxford have been in this competition, so a win today would equal that record. And then away at Blackburn or Middlesbrough, so I'm not sure how likely it is that they go beyond that, but anything's possible.
Well, it's not the WSL teams have come in. Arsenal playing Gillingham today, so it's like they're up against one of Arsenal, Chelsea or Man City or teams like that. So first things first though.
Indeed, yeah. In fact, we had our moment in the sun against Manchester City a few seasons ago. That was
absolutely
a footballing lesson, I think that was.
Who can? Again, marauding forward from the left side. Lumsden. Beaver claims a offside. The flag stays down. Beaver was having her shirt pulled, and the referee does spot it. It's going to be a free kick to Oxford United. Still 0-0 after nearly a quarter of an hour. Good start by Charlton, but Oxford United have come back into this.
Yeah, I think it's looking like the first goal could be very important. If we can get it and then hold on to it, it could be quite an interesting last bit of the game, especially if like we say, Charlton's fitness is better. But
good conditions today as well, isn't it? Very sunny, but not too warm.
No, and it's very still as well, so there won't be a wind-affected game at all, which is nice.
Oh, that is a crunching challenge by Brown. She got the ball, but yes, she got Sulola as well. Rather a lot. And unfortunately, maybe back in your day, Martin, that would have been absolutely fine. Would have been
that was my tackle, that was.
Would have been applauded even, but a little bit too overzealous from Brown there. It's going to be a free kick in a good position for Charlton.
Yeah, a bit far out for them to have a go, I think, but let's see what they can work. There's not many players in the area at the moment for them, just a couple. Good to see that Sulola is back up and not needing treatment.
It's like Clifford might be the prime candidate to take this. She scored a penalty against London Bees a couple of weeks ago, the 3-1 win. It's Clifford, rolls it sideways, and the shot well closed down. It was Griffiths who took it. Here is Clifford. Coombs. One of the senior players in the Charlton side, over 250 appearances, Grace Coombs. On the ball now. Finds Clifford, who is the all-time record appearance maker for Charlton. That's a lovely ball over to the far side. Powell. And it's clawed away, but it's turned in. And Beth Lumsden has given Charlton the lead. Rose Kite did well initially to get the cross away, but Lumsden was there to tap home. Pretty easy finish in the end. And it's Oxford United 0, Charlton 1.
Yeah, there was a very good cross into the middle there, and Rose Carter, I thought, did really well to get it away, but it just fell kindly for the Charlton player. So scratch what I was saying before about the first goal. I think
Not important at
not
all,
important
is it?
at all, no.
It's a good challenge by Hines. Hines McLaughlin takes aim.
Bit ambitious, that one.
Ambitious, but you do feel like United needs to be a little bit more ambitious, don't you? A little bit, pose a bit more of a threat coming forward. They've been good in the build-up. They haven't really tested the goalkeeper.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Maybe need to play a little bit further forward, although, you know, obviously don't go mad, but show off their attacking prowess a little bit more. They've got a lot of it.
Yeah. I think the key thing now is for them to not panic and just regard it as still a 0-0 scoreline, and then just play their normal game and try, like I say, maybe try and get forward a bit more, put the Charlton defence under a bit more pressure.
Still lots of time to go.
Yeah.
King dropping deep. All the way back to the goalkeeper, Cummings.
They do knock it around nicely, Charlton, when in possession, and it's very difficult for Oxford to get possession like that. But,
Coombs, it was Hooken who'd made the run. Lovely controlled header, finds the goal scorer, Lumsden. Now Hookan. Those two have combined very well, haven't they, down the
yeah, that's
Oxford
right.
left.
That was good defending there by Carly Johns, but she's too deep, I think. She needs to get further up the pitch.
Brown finds McLaughlin. Now Hines. A little bit of space perhaps on the far side for Oxford United and Emily Allen. McLaughlin can't quite get there. A little bit more precision required as well from Oxford United. Not far away. Here's Beaver for United. Kite has shown as well, as you have to with the modern goalkeepers, that she's got good distribution. That was slightly late from Kaylee Hines, and she recognises that.
Yeah, it wasn't a very generous pass to her, to be fair. I think she had to make that challenge, or the Charlton player would have got away from her.
The referee just saying that Hines, maybe one more of them, and she will be in the book. 1-0, the Yellows trail in this FA Women's Cup. Fourth round tie. Free kick to the Addicts. See the red shirts lining the edge of the United penalty area. Powell out to Lumsden. Loses her footing, but does so well to get back up and win the ball again. She's having a terrific game, and it's her goal that separates the two sides so far. Powell shifts the ball away from Allen. And a good clearance by Brown. McLaughlin has to lay it back. Yellow shirts trying to flood forward. Hines down the line. Fantastic ball. McLaughlin, she's got recruits coming in. And the cross is well defended. McLaughlin will see this out for a throw-in. Good break from United.
Yeah, great play from Katie Hines as well. She was under pressure from 2 Charlton players and managed to get that pass away.
Hines once again with a good ball. Can't quite keep it in. Just rolls out of play. You can see United trying to play those long passes down the flanks, nearly coming off. Oh, that was great anticipation from Hines. McLaughlin tries to take over. She's immediately closed down. Really good defending from Coombs, and she comes away with it and finds Sulola. Coombs once again.
Yeah, Charlton, when they're not on the ball, they do press really well, and it's something that Oxford are going to have to learn to deal with, really.
No, you're right, not much time on the ball at all.
No.
You see, that's the difference, isn't it, between this week and last week. Allowed a bit more time, a few more touches. This is a championship side who've been playing the whole season. Their championship season was not curtailed, unlike the Women's National League. Oh, not a great header. Oh, a bit of a mix-up. And is it going to roll in?
Yes,
it is. It's an own goal.
By Gotch. Oh.
A lifeline for Oxford United. The recriminations have started between goalkeeper Cummings and Jamie Gotch. And United didn't need to get back into it because Charlton have got them back into it themselves. It is 1-1.
And I think that may be an indication of why Charlton have been struggling in the WSL Championship this season. They're very good going forward, but maybe not so good when it comes to defending.
After 24 minutes then, United level. And actually there was a similar situation not that long ago, was there? Or earlier, just before Charlton scored. A miscue at the back, and Allen with a better touch would have been in.
That's right, yeah. Those are the opportunities that Oxford United need to take advantage of, and with Charlton's help, they did.
Looks like I've got another cracker. It's a good run by Dunbar Bonnie. Finds Sulola, trying to find the opening for the shot. It's a perfectly timed challenge from Brown. Yeah. Hines once again, starting to really dictate things, isn't she?
Yeah, when she's on the ball, Oxford look very calm and composed. Pass was a bit hard that time for anyone to get onto, but again, great anticipation by Lauren Haynes there.
Here is Huken. Challenged by Haynes. Not sure how much of the ball she got on that occasion.
The old adage, if you can't get the ball, get the player.
Actually, United have dealt with the set pieces fairly well, haven't they?
Yeah, this one's different position again, further wide. But, and again, not really a shot on, so it's going to be a cross into the box. And Charlton don't overload the box, do they?
Lumsden taken down by Sulola. On loan from Spurs, Karen Hill's old club. King will retrieve. Dunbar Bonnie. Up against Allen. Keeps possession well. And the cross is diverted wide by Huken. Goal kick to United.
They do get some good crosses in Charlton, and they've more often than not got someone in the box to meet them as well, which is maybe Oxford need to be a bit more adventurous when they're going forward. But as things stand, 1-1, you'd be happy with that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. It's been a good performance by Oxford United, who, as you mentioned, Martin, finished the season second, and I believe just a point behind Watford with a game in hand, so it was all poised. Unfortunately, not classed as elite level, so had to stop. Not the greatest of clearances from Kite. Her defence will have to work to deal with it. Pressure averted for now, at least. Hukan. Gets the cross in once again. Hines. Not on the same wavelength, Hines and Allen, who'd made the run beyond. It's picked up here by Hayes. Up to Johns. Great skill. Hines tried to find McLaughlin, who'd made the run inside. Mackenzie putting the back line under pressure.
Just going back a bit, that was great close control from Johns there to make the space. That's something she's got in her locker as well. I've noticed that a few times. She's very good with the ball at her feet.
Yeah, great technical ability. Really constructed a very good team, and a lot of players coming up through the Regional Talent Centre as well. You go from the Regional Talent Centre to the development squad and then to the first team. There's been quite a few who've made that leap. Clear pathway. Not many clubs can say that. Beaver, not sure that that's crossed the line, but assistant referee on this near side has indicated a Charlton throw. (1-1) as we approach the half-hour mark. It's a lovely touch by Dunbar Bonnie. Bit of time and space here for King, but closed down by Mackenzie, who's out of position, but does so well to see that one out. Great defending from Mackenzie.
Yeah, that was superb defending. Just Rosie Kite taking her time over the goal kick. So players have a chance to suck up a few rays while it's all happening, you know.
It's not quite deck chairs out yet. Certainly no flip-flops at the Gassam Stadium yesterday with that game.
That's for sure.
Oxford United's men's season still very much alive. Into the playoffs for the first time this season. Let's hope Oxford United women can keep their season alive, because of course if they go out, that's it. No league to play for. Handball against Sulola. Every single United player claimed that, which helps.
Yep, it's fairly clear. I think the ref had a good view of that as well, so not a problem with that one. Chance for Oxford United now to have a set piece, although I'll say a long way away from goal. So
Didn't cause some bother here. See Georgia Brown absolutely towering over everyone there. Is aimed towards her, just over her head. Beaver with an up and under. Charlton want the game stopped. There's a head injury, and eventually the referee does stop play with United in possession. So it'll be interesting to see how this game restarts after this.
You'd assume a drop ball, I think, but yeah, it's. I'd actually drop the ball and give it to Charlton for them to clear it, but who knows sometimes with the referees these days.
I do miss the contested drop ball, which has been outlawed now.
I know, they were fun. But you can understand why it was outlawed, I think.
Yeah, because usually the ball was irrelevant
right.
at times. So the referee has to stop, of course, for this head injury. And a chance for both sides to regroup.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't gone over to the benches for a water break, actually. It must be very hot out there. So they have a tactical talk on the pitch instead.
Just wonder psychologically what that goal would have done to Charlton, because I'm not going to say they weren't comfortable, but they were, fairly in control, with United threatening a little bit. But the way you concede that goal must really sting.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't think we'd really looked like scoring until that moment. So it was very generous of them to do that for us. But yeah, as a Charlton player, you'd have to think that maybe things like that would show that the game maybe isn't going in your favour.
And put out of your mind is so difficult, isn't it, when you've made that sort of error. But that's the life of a footballer, isn't it, or any sports person.
That's right. It'd be nice maybe for Oxford to try and take advantage of that by putting Charlton defence under a bit more pressure, see if there is a bit of nerves in there.
So it looks like it's going to be a drop ball and that Charlton will give it back to Oxford United, I think.
We shall see. No, not going back to Oxford United then.
Well contested header. The throw-in goes Charlton's way, and it's Clifford, who thankfully is back on the field after receiving some treatment. Oh, Mackenzie plays it straight to King. It's well wide.
Yeah, not as good as the finish for our goal.
It's naughty, Martin.
Yeah, so the game is getting slowed down a lot because there's no one there to throw the ball back for when it goes out for corners or throw-ins. So let's hope it doesn't disrupt the rhythm too much.
It's unlike the men's game. There's still lots of members of staff and balls all around on cones, aren't there?
Well, that's right, yeah. Be interesting to see what happens once all this COVID nonsense is over, whether they'll continue with some of these innovations.
Yeah. I think some teams really like that quick multi-ball system. Well, that's a dangerous ball over the top. Coombs not sure. It's going to be picked up by Johns, who is tripped up.
Just outside the area. That's a yellow card.
Definite yellow.
Not in the best of games, Coombs.
A free kick in a very good position for Oxford United. Definitely in shooting range, especially for one Kaylee Hines.
Yeah, I can't see her doing anything else but shoot from that range. Although the Oxford players are lining up as though she's going to cross it. As long as she can get it past the ball, though, she could cause serious problems for the goalkeeper.
I mean, Hines is technically right-footed. I think there's a stronger foot, but she can hit with her left as well. Good ball by Hines. Not sure if that was a shot or I think she was trying to curl it, wasn't she, into the far corner?
Yeah, it was going wide, but the goalie nevertheless put it out of play. Cummings put it out of play for a corner. So is that our first corner of the game? I think it is. Yeah.
Believe so, yep. With 35 minutes played. The skipper is up. Lauren Haynes.
I won't jinx it. I was just about to say.
It's a teasing one towards the back post. Mackenzie heads it against the defender. Another corner.
She's very good in the air, Mackenzie. It's quite a notable feature of her play. So, yeah, corner to her at the back post is always worth trying.
One of the taller players again, Mackenzie, isn't she?
She's got about 6 inches extra with that ponytail.
Haynes will take the corner once again from this side. So looks like it'll be the outswinger with the right foot. It's another deep delivery. And the referee spotted a push. It's going to be a free kick to Charlton. And another player in red down.
Physio's waved away, no treatment required. So not too bad.
You can see though, Oxford United have a couple of very good dead ball specialists. That's nicely played by Charlton. Gotch up to Sulola. All the way back for Kite.
almost onto the ring road with that one.
Nearly into their own bench as well.
Yeah, Lauren's corners have been excellent this season. I know she's been working on them particularly, but certainly against Basildon last Sunday, I think our third goal came from one of her deliveries.
McLaughlin with a bit of space here, closed down by Hooken. McLaughlin still going, trying to lay it off for a teammate. Here is Kaylee Hines, who's immediately shut down. Good pressing by Charlton to win the ball back. Clearance isn't the best. Here's Mackenzie, who will go for goal, and it's wide. And I must say, if that was on target,
yeah.
Cummings wouldn't have been sure.
I'm not sure that was a deliberate attempt at goal, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
If that gone in, she would have claimed that,
Sure.
I think. And so she should.
Yes. Oh, great play by Brown.
Clifford was waiting for it. Both players have gone down, and the referee is going to have to stop this. Brown and Clifford. With a clash of heads, that looked pretty nasty, actually.
Yeah, Brown
both
won the
eyes
header
on the
very
ball.
well. But yeah, there's nothing malicious in that at all. They're just both going for the ball, which Brown won it and put a great header through for Carly Johns. But like you say, the referee had to bring that one back.
So both Karen Hills, you can hear, and Liam Gilbert, the Oxford United head coach, calling their players in for a chat.
Georgia Brown is on her knees, so that's a good sign, whereas the Charlton player is still looking in some discomfort.
I think she definitely came off worse. Georgia Brown playing beyond her years already. It's her first full season at Oxford United, 18 years old. Spent the last 2 seasons on loan at Cheltenham.
Well, she's very well by all accounts.
Well, you can see she's slotted in to first team senior football, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Playing in that midfield. Just wonder what Liam Gilbert is saying. I think he'd be more than happy at half-time to go in with this scoreline.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, for sure.
If it does stay like this, by the way, will be extra time and penalties.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that. Hopefully we can get a second goal.
You've got somewhere to be.
No, not at all. No. We're just sat in the shade, and it'd be nice to be out in the sun.
With something cold, perhaps.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
have to see.
There are beers in the fridge at home, waiting to be drunk.
Non-alcoholic.
Of course.
Yeah. That's what I'd assume.
Yes. Yeah, the Charlton player is now up on her knees, but she's still looking very groggy, and the physio is obviously looking with some concern at her.
Well, Clifford's already had to go off for one injury. Just wonder how many more she can take. And
Oh, she's up now, which is a good sign.
it's got to be safety first with these things, hasn't it?
Well, that's right.
We'll have to see.
I'm not sure what Charlton have on the bench in order to replace players, but she doesn't look like she's very happy walking off the pitch like that.
Just looking at some of the other scores from the Women's FA Cup. 10-0 West Ham lead Chichester.
A little bit one-sided.
Slightly. There's 5 minutes to go in that one. Arsenal leading Gillingham by 5-0. That's not too surprising. Brighton 0, Bristol City 0. All WSL tie. A drop ball, and it looks like Oxford United are going to try and make something of this, because Charlton didn't give them the ball back the previous drop ball. So let's see what happens. It's Johns, tries to lay it off for Haynes. It's left for Mackenzie, and United can build from the back again with Beaver.
I can see what she was trying to do there, but I don't think that ball was read by McLachlan or Johns. So.
Haynes gets the head on. And that's good anticipation. Hooken, who's probably been Charlton's best player.
Yeah, I would say so.
The left back, Sulola, trying to make inroads, and the back pass is just about gotten away by Kite. Haynes makes the clearance.
Yeah.
Not the greatest of touches by Jamie Gotch. Johns will once again try and put the defence under pressure. Here's Clifford. Into Griffiths. Now Dunbar Bonney, who's allowed to stride forward.
She's very good going forward. I'm not sure how good she is defensively, though. Not really seen her have to do much to defending, to be fair.
Here's the Charlton goal scorer, Lumsden. Now Clifford, clearly deemed to be fit enough to be playing. Brown sticking to her, doing an excellent job.
Yeah, very well defended. Didn't allow Salola any space to get a pass out, and then pressure to get it out for throw.
Brown wins the flick on to Johns. And that looked a little bit dangerous from Johns, if we're all told, and Hooken hasn't made a big fuss of that, but the studs were up. No intent, but...
neither official gave anything, so play on.
Absolutely. Approaching half-time. 2 minutes plus stoppages. There will be probably quite a lot of stoppage time, won't there?
There have been 2 injuries where their physios had to come on, so yeah, you thought there'd be, I'd say 4, maybe even 5 minutes.
Here is Coombs. Good run made by Lumsden. Can't quite keep it in. Again, Brown wins the flick on.
Yeah. Uses her height to good advantage.
Mm-hmm.
She's being very tightly marked there by Salola. A
little bit scrappy, isn't it? But hasn't really been helped by so many stoppages.
No, it slowed the game down a lot, and I don't think that would benefit either side. Both, I think, like to keep the ball in play and to play at pace.
That's a good ball. Here's McLaughlin. Down for Brown. Good movement from her. It's pushed over. Nothing doing from the assistant referee. That looked like a foul. Play on. Here's Mackenzie. Away from Lumsden. McLaughlin. What a fantastic flick that is. Gives herself some space. Good strength as well, and gets the cross into the near post, and it's well fielded by Cummings.
Yeah, that I think is why I prefer to see Daisy on the wing rather than up front, because she has that strength and that ability to cross the ball like that. Who knows, maybe that was some of the instructions that were passed on by Liam and Gilbert when they had that break a minute ago.
Oh, we do have a board. There we go, 4 minutes. Added time at the end of the first half.
After Charlton's early dominance, I think it's become a very even game now. I think as things stand, you wouldn't be surprised to see either side take the lead again.
Yeah, half-time's come at the right time, you feel, for both sides, actually. Regroup, and see, Oxford United need to start a bit better, don't they, in the second half, but...
Yeah, you'd hope they would.
Unfortunately, seems to be a trait that's they caught from the men, perhaps. Slow starts to begin with, but it's all right. It's how you finish, isn't it?
Well, exactly. As we know from yesterday, no one remembers the first 75 minutes.
Not anymore, no. Whatever they do, they can't concede now, United. That's good play by Hines. Johns beaten to it. Good play by Coombs stepping out from the back.
I think they
Oh,
wanted a free kick there, but nothing going.
Yep. Powell drives in, away by Brown.
And that time it is a free kick. So. Yeah, also it must be quite hot out there playing the game, so half time we get a welcome refreshments break. Orange halves and cups of tea, as they
As it used to be.
As it used to be. It's all now.
Sometimes a cigarette. Not anymore.
It wasn't unheard of for some of the players to smoke on the pitch. In the old days.
The referee has given that Oxford United's way. I think just seeing it out till half time now. Into stoppage time, the referee looks at her watch.
I think she's refereed the game very well so far. I haven't noticed with her at all so far.
So far.
Yeah. I'm speaking as a qualified ref there.
Okay. You're allowed.
Thank you.
Well, Mackenzie's clearance is charged down. To shove in the back by King. Definite foul. Free kick to Oxford United.
And she's quite feisty, that Lumsden, isn't she? So there's 2 or 3 now that she's put her foot in where others might not.
It's been a good competitive game, but this is what the FA Cup should be about.
Yeah. I imagine this is the last action of the half now coming up.
Again, great flick on by Brown. Can't quite find Allen, who's been a bit quiet, but saw from last week what she can do.
Well, that's right. I mind if she's quiet for 90 minutes. If she's in the 91st minute, she can do that again.
Absolutely. Hayes, cut out by Dunbar Bonney. Lovely tricky feet. Oxford United throw.
Yeah, stoppage time seems to be going on for a long time.
Can't be too long now. Just over the head of Carly Johns. Succession of throw-ins.
Yeah.
Isn't the most interesting to watch.
It's not surprising, really, that the game speaks it out a little bit.
You just
but
hope the referee might put us out of our misery after watching throw-in after throw-in. That's all.
On the far side as well, we can see what's going on.
Still we play on. United need to keep their concentration.
Yeah. You do wonder if the referee's watch is not working properly.
Put out by Emily Allen.
Foul throw, I think. Yeah.
Well spotted. Qualified ref,
Indeed.
Martin.
Indeed. I haven't refed anything for a few years, but you know, I still remember some of the things. They've got these newfangled goal nets now. So there we go.
So, half time at the Velocity Stadium. Oxford United 1, Charlton 1. Charlton taking the lead. Beth Lumsden with a close range effort, and then Charlton getting Oxford United back in the game. Jamie Gotch with an own goal after a mix-up at the back between goalkeeper and defence. And since then, as you say, Martin, it's been fairly even. Good competitive game.
Definitely. I mean, I think obviously from Charlton's point of view, the own goal was unfortunate, but Oxford United have certainly capitalised on that and have come back into the game very strongly. So yeah, like I say, now you wouldn't. Either side now looks good, strong enough to go on to win it.
So finally poised at the break. We'll be back for second half commentary at Velocity Stadium at half time. It is Oxford United 1, Charlton 1. Welcome back for second half commentary at the Velocity Stadium. This Women's FA Cup 4th round weekend. Oxford United level with Championship side Charlton at the break 1-1. Charlton taking the lead through Lumsden and then giving Oxford United their goal from Gotch with their header after a mix-up between her and the keeper. We are nearly ready to kick the second half off. Oxford United women completing their huddle team talk. We're just about to get underway with United kicking from right to left, and it is their centre to get us underway.
Yeah, no changes for either side. Bit of concern whether Clifford would turn out again for Charlton after that nasty knock she got in the first half, but she's out there. So let's hope, like you said before, that Oxford can have a slightly quicker start in this half.
Charlton certainly started the better in the first period. United got themselves back into it. Still want to see a little bit more because we've seen their front three and how threatening they are, how potent they are. They need to show it, and hopefully they can get it done in 90 minutes. But if not, if it is level at full time, we will have extra time and perhaps penalties.
I have to say that on the evidence of the first half, it wouldn't surprise me if it did go all the way. Both very evenly matched, I think.
As we mentioned in the first half, just perhaps maybe fitness may come into this because Charlton have been playing throughout the close down of football, whereas Oxford United women weren't even allowed to train during the lockdown period. Their last competitive game before getting into the FA Cup was back in December the 13th, before the season was curtailed, with them second in the Women's National League South.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, besides the actual league season being curtailed, I have to say, I thought it was a very strange decision not to let them even train. I mean, like I said, there was the travelling aspect of it, which, and the distinction between Oxford's level and the Championship level, which is considered elite. I mean, again, it seems quite arbitrary, but what do I know?
Well, got our fingers crossed that next season will be a complete season for all levels of football, including, of course, Oxford City, men who play here as well.
With fans allowed in as well, hopefully.
Yeah. At least some would be nice.
Yeah.
So Gotch wins that header. Sulola dropping deep, swept forward by Lois Hukan. She's had an excellent first half, the Charlton left back. Bit of space here for Ella Powell for Charlton. Up against the Oxford United left back Georgia Hayes. Oh, she's done exceptionally well, Powell. Hayes gets back, and the referee has given a free kick to Charlton.
I didn't see much of Powell in the first half. I don't know, maybe that's just because she was on the far side or not, but she's certainly already imposed herself on the second half quite well.
I know one player Oxford United weren't displeased to see wasn't fit and available was Ella Rutherford, exceptional player, former Bristol City.
Another England Youth International.
Yeah. She turned up today on crutches, so we wish her a speedy recovery, but not in the squad today for Charlton. It's a decent delivery from Lumsden, a good header away by Gemma Sims. Carly Johns, the only yellow shirt up there, hooked forward by Coombs. Here's Allen, and now Powell. Brings the ball under her spell. Coombs with the ball out wide. It's missed by Mackenzie, but Lumsden can't quite keep that one in.
Yeah, I think Mackenzie committed herself a little bit too early for that one. She kind of got herself under the ball. But generally speaking, I think Oxford has defended quite well so far in the second half. Get Charlton at bay, not let them get any sight of goal.
No, actually, since Charlton's goal, can't really remember too much that Rose Kite, the Oxford United goal, has had to do, particularly.
No.
Protected her well.
I suppose you could say it's the same at the other end, really. I can't remember Cummings doing much, apart from picking the ball out of her net once.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's been very, very even. Played in midfield. We'll see who blinks first in terms of substitutions. Both sides allowed 5 in this competition.
Yeah, I was watching the Oxford subs warm up at half time, and they all seemed very, very relaxed and not too little skill on show either.
Like to see the game flow a little bit more.
Yeah, it's been a bit stop-start the second half so far. It'd be nice to, like you say, have the sides sustain a period of possession for Oxford would be nice.
Looks like it's going to be launched forward by Lauren Haynes. Away by Hooken, picked up by Beth Lumsden. A big swing by Allen. Here's Sulola. And there's space on this near side if she can find her for Powell. Here is the Charlton winger. Invites Dunbar Bonnie forward.
Yeah, I think that's the first time that Dunbar Bonnie has actually gone on the inside rather than the outside of the Powell, so didn't quite come off for them that time.
Playing it right back today.
Oh well.
Well, Oxford United were claiming a foul throw and they actually stopped for a little bit. It's going to be a corner kick. You can see they're all gesturing, explaining how to perform a throw.
You'd hope that the officials would already know that.
You see it at all levels of the game now, men's and women's.
Yeah, and it's very hardly ever penalised as well, which
No.
is a bit odd.
Taken short, back to Lumsden. Way too much on that. Sulola just nips in front of Brown. Sims has a hand in the air claiming an offside. It's going to be another corner for Charlton. Another good start from the away side.
Yeah, I mean, also been defending their set pieces very well, but sometimes you think maybe the law of averages might weigh in Charlton's favour at one of these corners.
Once again, it's a short corner and it's a really good delivery, and Hooken couldn't quite get there. And Kaylee Hines just put her off enough.
Yeah, it's a very good delivery, that one, to the back post. But Hooken is no Sam Long.
Who is these days?
Yes.
Has Gareth Southgate paid a visit to the Kassam? Have you seen him in the stands?
I think he's probably seen enough from the videos.
Yeah. England don't have enough right backs, do they?
That's right. England don't have enough Oxford players in their rank, full stop.
What a season he is having. And it's just a shame we haven't managed to see the conclusion of Oxford United women's season here.
Well, yeah.
They can keep this team together. It's going to be one heck of a campaign next from the start of August, September, when the season starts again.
Yeah, I think so. And, Kath Faulkner, the coach, was telling me yesterday that there have been quite a few players from Championship clubs that have actually approached Oxford, because they're not getting first team time in the Championship. They've actually approached Oxford to see if there's any availability to play here. So if the recruitment is right in the summer, then who knows what might happen next season.
Well, that tells you the culture of this club.
Yeah.
Still amateur, but really in name only. Very professionally run by the coaching staff and the whole club, really.
Yeah. I'm sure some of the players wouldn't mind getting paid to play, but
I don't think they turn it down. Oh, and that was nearly a Charlton moment for Oxford United. Gemma Sims playing it back to Kite. I think maybe she just got a shout to not put too much weight on that pass. Would have seen it roll into the same net that it did in the first half.
There was a moment in the Billericay game last Sunday where
A chance. And it's over the bar for a corner kick.
Yeah, where Rose Kite's communication with the back line wasn't 100%, and it did let Billericay in for a chance, but this time hopefully they've got that sorted out.
Well, this pitch can be deceiving as well, can't it? Obviously your communication needs to be good, but sometimes get a funny spin or a bounce.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't know if it's going to hold up on the pitch or if it's going to spin forward. So.
10 minutes played in the second half, still 1-1. Another corner kick to Charlton, who again have started well at the beginning of the second half. And the referee just having a word. That penalty area, whenever they have a corner kick, Charlton, they absolutely crowd the 6-yard box. But the referee's got eyes on it. All the pushing and shoving that's going on. McLaughlin gets a toe to it, and Lauren Haynes will try and complete the job. Can't quite do it. Lumsden, well seen and held by Kite.
Yeah, but a good shout as well from her.
Mackenzie closed down by King. Charlton third from bottom in the championship. And actually they are, as a club, are preparing to go professional, fully professional from July, so they'll have high expectations next season. Promotion will be the aim. Cross comes in, here's Powell, lifts it over the bar.
Yeah, they're dangerous from their crosses, Charlton. Definitely, every time they get the ball wide, they do seem to get a good cross into the middle.
And they've scored just 17 goals in their 18 games in the championship so far, so that does tell a story in itself.
Yep. They did beat London Bees last time out, but then, to be fair, London Bees have lost every game they've played so far this season.
Yep,
so
they've been relegated, so...
Or have they? Will relegation actually come into
well,
effect next
we'll
season?
Have to see. But if so, it will be a trip to the high for Oxford United, probably, although you never know with the way the north and the south are divided up.
That's true. Ooh.
Sulola runs into traffic, and Beaver will get up tentatively. Back on her feet now, not running freely, Cat Beaver, but we'll keep an eye on that. Well won by Dunbar Bonnie.
Cat Beaver's gone down now as well, so wanting treatment.
Bit of a collision there. Cat Beaver and
Nope,
Alicia
she says she
Sulola.
doesn't want treatment.
Nope.
Wave the physio away.
She's had a couple of spells with Oxford United, Beaver, also in the RAF. I believe she played in that FA Cup game against Everton in 2013.
I think that's right.
Tasked with the job of marking Jill Scott, which I believe didn't quite go as she'd hoped, but
good experience for her.
I mean, 100+ caps for England.
Yeah.
Multiple trophy winner. MBE as well.
But apart from that,
decent career behind her.
Yeah.
Still going, of course. Back at Everton, actually, on loan from Manchester City.
we did have some decent players ourselves back in those days. Tash Caswell, Sahara Osborne, Ricketts, players like that.
Well, Caswell is an absolute baller.
Yeah.
But that was the side that absolutely stormed the lower league and then got into the WSL2 as it was there. Defending for Oxford United to do. But pressure relieved as the referee spots something, and now it's the goalkeeper who's down, although straight back up.
Yeah. I mean, that is the thing for Charlton. I say they crowd the area, but that often leads to them conceding free kicks.
I think it's a point that should be made that there will be even fewer shocks in the competition this season because of the curtailment of the National League and the women's game. It's very rare that you see cup upsets, full stop, but even more so this season.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a pocket for Mackenzie.
Yeah. Pretty cynical, that from Hannah Mackenzie.
Charlton player turned away from her and she just decided to make sure that there was no advantage for that. It was fair play.
Hour gone. Still 1-1. Real openings, few and far between.
It's been very tight, hasn't it?
Very. Say Charlton have had the better chances in this second half. Powell in particular. Couldn't keep her effort down. It's floated in, all the goalkeeper came. And King got her head to the ball, and if she could have directed that properly, then Oxford United could have been in trouble there.
Yeah, but she didn't. I do think Oxford need to step up their game a little bit, maybe get a bit more on the front foot, try and maybe play a bit more with pace, because at the moment it's pretty flat for Oxford and Charlton could take advantage of that.
Just lacking a bit of energy. Perhaps Liam Gilbert will look to his bench, but this is a very strong starting 11. Just hope they do get a second wind and get players like Daisy McLaughlin on the ball. Haven't seen much of that front three, have we, in this second half?
No, that's right. The game's, again, like the start of the first half, the game's been largely played in the Oxford half. So hopefully it won't result in a conceding goal like it did in the first half. Hopefully we can get playing forward sooner rather than later.
They just don't have a real clinical edge, do they, Charlton? Maybe lacking a bit of confidence in front of goal. This is probably not the tie they wanted, is it? Because the pressure's on them.
Well, that's right. When you're the favourites, it's always a harder game than... well, that's a nice touch.
Great flick. Here's Brown. She's only got Carly Johns for company. Brown with a great run. Bit of support here now from Hayes, who floats one in. That's a very good ball. Brown, and it's just cleared away. Carly Johns couldn't quite get there.
Well, they obviously heard us.
Really good play by the young Oxford United midfielder, Georgia Brown.
Yeah, that's what Oxford needed to get up the pitch and to start putting a bit of pressure on the Charlton back line. Because we've seen from the first half that they can be a bit shaky when they're put under pressure.
Lauren Haynes, in her 5th year at Oxford United, to take the corner kick. Goes deep once again. Good header one.
Ooh.
Johns with the turn and shot. Back in, off the line. Oxford United so close to taking the lead.
No Hawkeye here.
And it's Jess King who is striding forward.
It's offside,
who is... She made the clearance off the line and nearly latched onto that through ball. Yeah. She looked like she had strayed offside there. The flag stayed down. Pass didn't find her. But from one end of the pitch to the other.
Incredible break, really. Had a stretched, you have to say.
Handball from Georgia Brown. A set piece for Charlton. From a Charlton point of view, it's great to see them commit to the women's team, going professional.
Yeah, they've...
yet another takeover, haven't they?
That's right, yes. They were affiliated to the first team before, and then they went independent, and now they're back in the fold. Interesting to see how that impacts on them, really. But, like you say, it seems that they're prepared to throw the money at them, so who knows.
Well, they've got a fantastic coach in Karen Hills on board. I'm sure she wouldn't have agreed to sign up without a few commitments and promises for the team. It's a low free kick and it's an easy take for Rose Kite. When those long ranges have come in, she's been very confident. Allen flicks on.
Yeah. Nice to see Allen getting more involved. She's not really been that involved recently, so.
Scored 6 in 9 starts, Emily Allen, before the season was stopped.
She is one of those players that can have a quiet game and then pop up with something spectacular. She's also quite influential when she's on the ball normally, so it'd be nice to get her on the ball a bit more.
Another head injury. It might be Griffiths who's down.
Yeah, I think it is.
It looks like Charlton are lining up a couple of, at least one alteration. Chance for another drinks break. Has been very stop-start.
Drinks break for the players, that is, not for us, of course. Yeah, then there's a couple of players coming on.
Oh, that is a surprise. The right back, Dunbar Bonnie, going off.
I thought she had a decent game.
Very good game.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
So that's Ellie Dory, the number 7, who's come on.
And she is a forward player, so perhaps a
Solola's gone off as
shake
well.
up.
And a third substitution as well, which has seen Coombs go off. So number 30 is Katie Godden.
Another young forward.
And who else has come on?
It's Vianne Sampson's also come on.
So all changed for Charlton. Will Oxford react, or will is Liam Gilbert happy with the way things are at the moment?
We'll see how this impacts Charlton.
Yeah. They're definitely talking to one of the players over there, maybe with the view to coming on.
Sampson's a former Arsenal and West Ham player, vastly experienced despite fairly young years. Lumsden allowed to turn, no pressure, but not a great ball. Straight out of play.
Yeah, there is a risk, of course, when you make that many substitutions that it disrupts your own pattern of play rather than the opposition's. But a bit too early to tell yet whether that's the case.
Katie Godden now the furthest forward for Charlton. She signed in January from Arsenal. A young player, but with a good pedigree.
The referee's given us a free kick for a push there on Carly Johns.
Good opportunity this. And Lauren Haynes will take with it. Kaylee Hines wanted on the end of this, another player with great aerial ability. So let's see what United can do from this. It's Haynes. Charlton claiming it's gone off, and it's just a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a bit too much on it, that one from Lauren. But set piece delivery is normally spot on.
They seem to be targeting the back posts, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. They get the taller players at the back posts, and maybe a chance to either head at goal or to knock it back into the mix.
Godden, a great turn of pace, and what
fantastic.
a fantastic challenge that is from Beaver. Beautifully timed. She had to get that right. Potential for a penalty for Charlton had she mistimed that.
Yeah, she got that one spot on. Excellent play.
Oh, that's a late challenge from behind by Haynes. I think it is Lumsden who's just taking a bit of time getting to her feet.
Yeah, doesn't want the physio though. So.
First touch the ball for Ellie Dorry.
Good defending there again from Hayes.
20 minutes remaining, still 1-1.
Yep, that dreaded extra time could be on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Still 20 minutes, a lot can happen in 20 minutes, like we saw last night.
A lot can happen, yes. Just needs someone to throw caution to the wind.
Oh, great knock.
Gotch will clear.
Nice clang onto the roof of the stand there. But Georgia Brown's running everything in the air at the moment. It's nice to see.
And that isn't always a given just because you're tall either, is
Oh,
it?
that's
We've
right.
seen plenty of...
Yeah. And our flick-ons go to the right place as well. They don't just go, they're not just aimless flick-ons, they actually go to an Oxford player more often than not.
Using it to advantage. Sampson gets the better of Hines. Lumsden on the floor, manages to find Godden. Could try and use her pace again. That's good feet from Godden. The shot, though, well over, clears the stand.
Yeah. Mackenzie did well there, I think, to put her under the pressure to make her sky the shot.
She's looked dangerous, though, hasn't she, since coming on Godden?
Yeah, she has. But, so, I mean, unless she was carrying a knock, I'm not quite sure why Sulola was taken off, though. She was, unless they just wanted to freshen up a bit.
Here's Powell. Good movement by Sampson. It's just opened up for her.
Ooh.
Oh, and that is some miss by King.
Yeah.
Flag stayed down. Oxford United caught on their heels. That was a lovely ball from Sampson. And King couldn't keep it down. Kite was there, perhaps put her off. Let off.
Yeah, I was expecting to see the net bulge then, or the offside flag go up, one or the other. Neither happened. Which again just shows how much I know.
That was a big miss from just a couple of yards out.
Yeah. Is that one of the moments that defines the game?
We'll have to see. Clifford, won by Haynes. And Sims bowled over with a late challenge. Referee waves play on.
Oh,
Great ball. Haynes, and beautifully taken down by McLaughlin. Sampson gets a foot in though. Dorry flicks on towards Godden. Oh, and Beaver was wrong side. Oh, and Kite missed that, and, well, it's out for a corner kick. That could have been a lot worse.
It could have been. If she'd made contact and the player went down, it would have been a certain penalty. But neither happened, so still have to defend a corner, though. And I've sort of got everyone back now. Carly John's the only player outside the area, but she's not that far outside.
Swung in once again. It's another dangerous delivery, but a little bit too much, and it bounces wide for a goal kick for United.
Yeah. And a substitution for Oxford now.
Yep, first of the afternoon. Georgia Brown coming off.
And Tame Oliver coming on, who's got good goal scoring pedigree herself. So
she has. She's in a second spell at Oxford United. Has played in the top tier previously with Notts County when they were a team. Has also played recently in the Championship, Leicester.
a very positive substitution, though, I have to say.
Decision is fiercely contested by Oxford United, and you can see why. Gonna have to get on with it though. Kaylee Hines penalised.
Yeah, it looks a 50-50 to me, but the referee's the person in charge, and she has her view of it.
There didn't seem to be anyone complaining.
No, that's right. Well, apart from Kaylee.
Well, or both sides. So just yeah. Sims with the big header. McLaughlin onto Oliver. Bit of space, promising from Oxford United. Johns can't quite find Oliver. She kept it in. Oh, the nutmeg. This is brilliant from the substitute. Oliver back to Hines.
Oh.
Couldn't quite get hold of it.
Good opportunity, though.
Best move from Oxford United of the game.
Yeah. And at last you've seen Cummings have to make a save. Great play from the substitute there.
What an impact that would have been. You're right, Liam Gilbert's made a very attacking substitution there, and it's nearly paid off immediately. Just getting United further up the pitch. Good win from Haynes, and again.
Good pressure there from McLaughlin.
So United pressing a little bit higher up, although this is the problem when you do that. Charlton have worked their way out with Powell. Keeps possession and finds Hooken. Allowed to stride forward. Again, off target. The shots are racking up for Charlton, but...
Yeah, but still they're not finding the target, and which is... you'd normally be quite happy to see players shoot from that sort of distance.
Feel perhaps Liam Gilbert doesn't want this to go to extra time, that this will be their best chance as the game wears on, that maybe this is the time to try and go and win it.
Very possibly true, yeah. You imagine that if a team does tire, it will be Oxford more than Charlton, just simply because of the lack of game time they've had, and the lack of training as well.
Allen puts it out of play for a Charlton throw. That's great play by Haynes. Tracking the runner, stride for stride.
Yeah, good strength as well.
Yep. Powell over the top for Dory. Easily gathered by the goalkeeper, Kite.
It's gone out for a goal kick anyway. So Lauren's limping a little bit. But then she had 2 or 3 knocks on last Sunday as well and shook them off quite quickly. So
Dorry for Charlton. Towards Godden. And Sims wins the wrestling match to see that one out.
Good strength there.
Reminder, it's away at Wolves or Blackburn in the 5th round for the winners of this one. A big shove in the back from King on Kaylee Hines. Into the final 10 minutes of normal time. And still nothing between them.
Yeah, if you're going to pounce, you want to do it soon.
That's right, it's beginning to get into the territory of it difficult to come back from. Although a fair few said that yesterday.
Well, that's true.
Godden. Lumsden skips away from the challenge of Beaver. Flag has gone up against King. Good line by United.
Yeah, they're still keeping themselves focused in the back, so that's good to see. Fatigue hasn't struck yet. Obviously, it's the mental fatigue as much as the physical fatigue that you're worried about at this stage of the game. But keeping a good line, still knocking the ball about well. Charlton's still looking possibly more dangerous going forward than we are, but
well, they've had more opportunities, but looking dangerous. They just look like they're really lacking, aren't they, in front of goal?
Lacking ideas as well, really.
Another good win by Hines. Good strength from Godden. Tries to play in King. That's going to roll harmlessly out for possession for Oxford United, and Rose Kite, and
that was
now
a bit cynical.
King could be in trouble here. We're quite far away from this, but that looks unnecessary at the very least.
Yeah, he certainly caught the goalkeeper, and there was no need to go in like that. It depends now what action, if any, the referee's going to take. Yellow card, yeah.
It's the yellow for King.
Could have been an opportunity to play advantage there, but I think the referee was quite justified in bringing play back. There was Collie Johns was surrounded by Charlton players there.
Haynes. It's towards Sims. Hines off target. King picks it up in midfield towards Lumsden. Another corner. More defending for United to do here. As the clock ticks down, 6 minutes plus stoppage time.
Can't see there being that much stoppage time either. There's not been a lot of halts of the play this half, so. So again, Oxford got everyone back in their own area.
And Kite just got there first. The good positive piece of goalkeeping. And Emily Allen, or Oliver, beg your pardon, can't get past Godden. Chance for King, straight at the keeper.
Yeah,
Really either side.
Charlton's best opportunity of the half, I think, so far. So. But Kite's a good goalkeeper. She won't let something like that spill. So if it's long straight at her, she'll keep it.
Yeah, she hasn't been tested particularly, but when she's been called upon, she's done everything with confidence. And Oliver to put the goalkeeper under pressure. Cummings gets it away. Beaver. Bit of a shank, but it finds Allen. Haynes takes over. Finds Hayes. It's good play by Hayes. Here's McLaughlin. And Hines' shot charged down. Here's McLaughlin, promising from United.
Oh, I thought that was look, headed goals from this angle, but obviously not.
That looked very close. Goal kick, but that was much better. Getting their passing game going. We haven't really seen that too often.
No, and it was also by that great pass from Haynes down to Allen on this left-hand side.
Between them, Hines has won that and kicks the ball away.
Yeah, referee doesn't seem inclined to take any action for it.
No, slightly fortunate there actually, Kaylee Hines, having committed the foul as well.
Yes. So no further action on the Oxford substitutes bench, so it looks like this is as it is for the rest of the game, for at least an extra time.
Beaver gets ahead to that. Mackenzie finds Johns. McLaughlin forward, but no yellow shirt there.
Oh, she put it into the place that she normally occupies.
Allen trying to put the goalkeeper under pressure. That's good play by Powell. Now Dory. On to Godden. It's a good build-up from Charlton, but it ends with a touch out of play from Ellie Dory.
That's really been the story of Charlton's game, I think, so far. Good build-up play, but then the final ball is lacking. Just touch wood that continues to be the case.
Not long to go. 2.5 minutes. Oliver onto Johns, and now McLaughlin. Space opening up on that far side. And McLaughlin tried the back heel towards Mackenzie.
Just didn't get enough on it, really, did she? So Mackenzie did well to get there, though, and Chuck closed down the clearance.
Well, it's a good advantage play by the referee, and this could pay off for Oxford United. It's Johns!
Oh.
Was that the chance?
Could have been. That was a great advantage by the referee there. Just we couldn't capitalise on it, unfortunately. But you'd have to go from goal from that angle. I know Emily Allen was in a great position should she have crossed it, but from that angle you have to go for goal, really.
Last chance saloon now, Oliver. That's a foul by Allen. Charlton trying to get on with it. Clifford launches it forward towards Godden. Away by Lauren Haynes. Sampson wins it. Here is Godden. Great challenge by Hines. Haynes to Allen. Tried a through ball towards Johns. Past 90 minutes now.
So it's in the referee's hands now, having that she adds on.
Dorey. Here's Lumsden. Shut down by McLaughlin. Still defending for Oxford United to do. Great play by the Oxford United winger, getting back, doing her defensive work as well. Hooken goes down. Free kick. Right on the edge.
Unfortunately, I don't see a board held up for the end of the second half, so I don't know how much stoppage time we've got. But it could be the last piece of action of the half. Although, judging by the first half, it could be another 5 minutes, yeah.
This could be it. Last chance, Charlton, and it's straight again at Rose Kite.
Yeah. Relief all round, apart from the Charlton bench, obviously.
Someone needs to try and get this ball down to create the opportunity. And Hines bundled over, free kick to United.
And the opportunity for Oxford United to get the ball into the Charlton area. It's a long way out, but with Haynes' deliveries, shouldn't be a problem for her.
Need a yellow shirt on the end of this.
Yeah. Taller players are going forward. But Charlton bringing everyone back.
It's going to be Lauren Haynes. Floats it in. Goalkeeper's come.
Good
really good goalkeeping from Eartha Cummings. You can see both sides desperate to win this and avoid extra time. And Dorey claims the free kick and she gets it. Now Charlton's turn to put United under pressure. The red shirts come flooding forward. Clifford. Oh, a chance! And Dorey over the bar.
She kind of got under the ball then, sliced it a bit. So. I'm too sorry about that, but
another really good opportunity wasted.
Yeah.
That really should have been the winner.
Yeah, you think if a goal happens to either side now, that will be it. It can't be too much stoppage time.
Again, that looked like a push on Kaylee Hines. United try and get it forward. That's well defended. Ball spending a lot of time in the air in these final few phases of the second half. Allen, lovely touch. Here's Hayes against Powell. And she's forced the loose pass from Powell. Here's Sampson. Godden. Charlton turn over possession, but they've won it back with Hooken. Asking way too much of Lumsden there.
Yeah, passes from both sides going astray now, more than they used to. I think that might be a sign of tiredness settling into both teams. But maybe the referee just doesn't want to go to extra time. She's waiting for a winner.
Still play goes on.
That's it.
That is it. We are into extra time at the Velocity Stadium. So another half an hour at the very least. And perhaps penalties if it remains level. Another good competitive half, but lacking in too many opportunities for either side, really.
Yeah, I mean, Charlton obviously had their moments, but couldn't get the finishing on. Oxford had that chance with Kaylee Hines' shot, but very little to choose between the sides in terms of possession, I think. Charlton maybe on the front foot more. No one really wanted extra time, but I suspect Oxford don't want it because of the fitness issue. I think Charlton probably didn't want it because they've got a league campaign to think about. So, be interesting to see how the teams approach extra time.
Charlton certainly had the better opportunities to win it. But
yeah, they'll be regretting their finishing.
Certainly. There's been a few let-ups for Oxford United. Just have to see what they've got in the tank in the next half an hour or so.
Yeah. There are players there who are getting treatment for what looks like possibly cramp. I know Lauren Haynes suffered a cramp right at the end of the Billericay game, so she might be a bit concerned as well.
Well, United still have a few changes up their sleeve. They just made the one, haven't they? And Charlton have made 3 out of the 5.
Yeah, there is that. So Oxford do have some fresh legs they can bring on, and Cheryl Williams is on the bench if they want more attacking threat.
Oliver's been a good addition, hasn't she, since she came on?
Yeah, she certainly had an immediate impact, I think. Strengthened United's front line, put them on the front foot, took the pressure off the defence. But the Charlton players are all standing up, listening to their coach and captain, whereas the Oxford players are getting leg rubs and squatting down, and maybe not quite as fit as their opposition.
Yeah, doesn't look like they don't look quite as fresh, but maybe a ploy. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah. Lull them into a false sense of security, but we'll have to see. Very difficult for Liam Gilbert, I think, to get them to find that second or third wind at this stage.
Well, that's right. You can't really ask any more of what the Oxford players have given. They've given it their all. So maybe he will be looking to his bench.
There's been a few tasty challenges, hasn't there, as well? So
yeah, that's right. No quarter given by either side. And again, another word for the referee. I think she's handled the game brilliantly. I think maybe everyone makes mistakes occasionally, but I don't think she's made nothing major at all. Nothing's had any effect on the pattern of play. Kept the game flowing where she can as well.
Some good advantages.
Yeah, kept the cards in her pocket except when she had to bring them out.
Yeah, there's been a few. Final instructions being given to both sets of players. The tactics board is being rushed out towards the Oxford United huddle. Maybe
Liam Gilbert thinking of a tweak or two to his system. But at this stage of the game, I think systems and formations are pretty much out the window. I think it's what the players can bring to the game themselves.
United need to create a little bit more.
They do. They need to get more on the front foot, put Charlton under pressure at the back, because we've seen that their defence can get flustered when they have pressure put on them. But Oxford have defended stoutly. When Charlton have got through, their finishing has let them down. But yeah, I think Oxford's main regret maybe at the moment is they haven't made Cummings work harder. Lauren Haynes is still getting extended treatment there.
Yes, you can see she won't want to come off, the captain. It should be a huge miss in that midfield.
Yeah, I mean, she wins pretty much every challenge she goes in for.
Her and Kaylee Hines.
It's a great combination.
Don't shirk away from a challenge, do they?
No, not at all. And they both bring that kind of experience to the side where they can bring the ball down, pick a pass, and usually a telling one at that. So you want both those players to stay on as long as possible.
Oxford United hoping to make it to the 5th round for only the 2nd time.
Yep.
Against Charlton, who previously won it. Just the once, 2005. Karen Hill's in that playing side, now in the dugout.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she can say to them really, because they can't improve on their finishing between now and the start of the next period. It's just maybe just try and be a bit more composed.
Maybe a line-up tweak or two, but like you say, I think at this stage of the game, going into extra time, there's not a lot that either side can do that they haven't done already for the last 90 minutes. So officials getting ready for the second half. And the Charlton players coming back on. I think they're making a substitution.
It's another alteration for Charlton. Now, could this be the player that wasn't on the team sheet?
Ah, typical. Everyone back into their places, getting into places. The subs into the far stand. The coaching staff onto the bench. Don't think Oxford are making any changes. And yet it's the player who's not on the team sheet who's coming on to replace Beth Lumsden, who, to be fair, has been in the wars a little bit in the second half.
She has scored the goal for Charlton, opened the scoring. So it's Cara Forjaw coming on. Young forward.
Aha. We'll see what, if any, impact she has on the game. It's fresh legs, but she's not on the team sheet and she's only just getting on now. You wonder why here she's, what.
When we say not on the team sheet,
yeah.
She might be a very new signing. We'll just have to see. Named among the subs, of course. So Oxford United will get us underway. The start of extra time.
Liam Gilbert keeping his powder dry for the moment in terms of further substitutions.
Well, they haven't done much wrong, have they? It's just you worry about their energy levels, but
yeah, their energy levels, and also obviously as time goes on this surface as well, possibility of injuries.
Except for Oxford United, it is win or bust, doesn't it? Because it's the end of the season.
Well, there's
they
nothing
don't
to
get
lose
through.
for Oxford, is the other way to look at it. So.
Yep, Dory with the cross in.
Yeah.
United come away with it. Here's Haynes skipping away from the challenge of the substitute for Jaw. That's a good flick on by Johns. And there was Oliver who couldn't quite get onto it. Now Mackenzie. That's a great looking ball. And Johns just lost it, lost the flight into the arms of Eartha Cummings.
Just fell behind her, didn't it? So she managed to get something on it, but straight to the goalkeeper. But for Jaw, looks like she has a bit of pace about her.
It's a whole new forward line for Charlton with Godden and Dory, and now Forger on. Miscue from Haynes.
Yeah, need to get concentration back in order to start this extra time.
Well defended by Beaver, that cross. Here's Sampson, dispossessed by Hines.
She does well.
And Hayes' clearance charged down for an Oxford United goal kick. Clifford finds Dory. Back to Clifford. Sends it towards Godden. Sims sees it out.
It's following the pattern of the other two halves that we've had, really, isn't it? A slightly slower start by Oxford, but defending well. Charlton looking to get on the front foot, but not quite getting the final ball right.
Claim for a push on Hines. And the free kick is awarded to Oxford United. Haynes towards Johns. It's going to fall here for McLaughlin. Not a bad effort.
Worth a go. Also, even if those aren't on target, don't trouble the goalkeeper much. It's useful to have those sorts of efforts because it just makes the Charlton defence think a bit about going too gung-ho.
Hines, another header one. Oliver goes down. Charlton play on. Who can? Great play by the left back. Here's the substitute. That's going to float wide by Forger.
Yeah, she's kind of snatched at her shot a little bit under pressure. But a little bit worrying with the ease in which Charlton got into that position to have a shot in the first place, though. So hopefully Yassi can keep their concentration and focus.
McLaughlin keeps it in, sends it down the line. Out of play for an Oxford throw. Free kick to Charlton. Five minutes gone. First half of extra time in this fourth round of the FA Women's Cup. Good play by Haynes. On by Allen. Towards Hayes.
That was a good move. I think Charlton needs to make that interception there to get the ball out, because otherwise Emily Allen would have been on her way.
Allen can't keep it in, and
it looked like it had gone out of play for a corner, but nothing given.
Going to be a throw-in. Oliver wins her own flick on.
No one there in a yellow shirt, unfortunately.
Haynes is down here, and the referee hasn't stopped things. Godden. Lauren Haynes is still down in the Charlton half, and the referee clearly thinks it's not a head injury, so she has no reason to stop play. In the meantime, here come Charlton. Sims gets the ball away. Hooken, and well held.
Good play. Now the referee stops the play.
Haynes can receive treatment.
We have got a substitute lined up to come on the far side. I don't know if that's a replacement for Lauren Haynes or a different tactical change. But yeah, Lauren went down holding a hip there. So she's got an impact injury.
Always saw at half time she was receiving a lot of treatment.
And she is off. And it's Lily Stevens coming on in her place.
Looks like Carly Johns coming off.
Yeah. I thought he had up the 4, must have been the 14.
I'll forgive you, it's over on the far side. I think we're not. I wouldn't be surprised if Haynes does have to come off, but
she's still receiving treatment. So
Carly Johns off for Lily Stevens, you say?
Yeah. It looks like cramp that she had at the end of the last game, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. It's been a much more gruelling contest, this one.
Lily Stevens, midfielder. Sister of Jack. Not the goalkeeper, though.
Ah, the other Jack.
The other Jack. From the Oxford United men's youth team, yeah. Not confusing at all.
No. Well, if she's got half as much ability as her brother, then she's going to be a very fine player.
Is that right?
No, I think so, yeah, he's a good one.
Well, she's played in the Championship herself with Crystal Palace.
Lauren is up and limbing off alongside the physio. No sign of a substitute coming on for her yet. So presumably Liam Gilbert is confident that she can continue. She is not walking very cleanly though.
As we said, she's not going to want to come off, but she might be forced.
Play's restarted with a drop ball for the keeper, and Lauren is still on the sideline doing a couple of squats. Now she's back on the pitch. Fair play to her.
Straight in,
Straight in with a
winning a header. McLaughlin forward. You could see what Oliver was trying to do there, didn't quite come off. The flick round the corner. Charlton take the throw in quickly. United
Have to be careful with the challenge there. in the
ball
area.
watching a little bit. It's another good take from the goalkeeper. Four and a half minutes left of the first half of extra time. It's good play from Forjaw, riding the challenge, and now here's Sampson. Dory with the turn. Now King. Charlton tried to work the shooting opportunity here. Forjaw. Haynes. United looking very fatigued now. Hoken with the cross. Flicked away by Beaver.
Yeah, we are looking a bit tired at the back now. So and there was loads of space there for Forjaw when she received the ball on the left wing of Charlton.
Dory. So Charlton have made the alterations that may have just swung this tie away from Oxford United. Here's King. And again, another wayward effort.
Yeah, it's very speculative, that one, I think, on the turn from outside the area.
That's great play from Kaylee Hines to keep possession. Forjaw. Poked out of play by Mackenzie. Good win by Haynes. King. Now here's Powell. United win it back. That's good play. McLaughlin doesn't have too much support.
Now she does.
It's a good ball towards
Oh.
Stevens.
Just
A
ran away from her.
substitute.
Just ran away from her a little bit. That was a good.
Stretching every sinew, couldn't quite get there. Game opening up now. Godden up against Beaver. Forjaw. Here's Dory. Now King. Gets away from Sims. Now Powell. Again with the delivery. And the referee is going to blow for a foul on Cat Beaver.
Yeah, so Oxford still weathering the storm, still doing well at the back, and also a very promising move forward there just then. So the game is by no means out of reach. Still 1-1. Minute till half time of extra time. Another Charlton substitution. Jenna Legg, I think, has come on for Clifford.
Some fresh legs in the midfield. Jen Legg so had a loan spell at Oxford United a few years ago. Former Chelsea player.
I remember that. She came with another Chelsea player, didn't she?
Correct,
Yeah.
yep. Rafferty.
Rafferty, that's it. Who went to Brighton, I think.
Yes. I think they both did, actually.
Oliver there putting the goalie under pressure to
Yep.
miss her clearance.
15 minutes have elapsed to the first half of extra time. But we did have a fairly long stoppage for Lauren Haynes.
That's true.
There'll be a little bit more time added on. Both claiming the throw, going Charlton's way in the end.
Sealed a few yards on it as well.
That's a given. Here's Godden, again trying to work the space. Oh, and that's a beautiful goal. Godden just managing to work a yard away from Beaver and firing it past Rose Kite. That is heartbreaking for Oxford United. In stoppage time of the first half of extra time, Charlton finally take one of their chances and they lead by 2-1.
Yeah, it's a very harsh goal to concede. It was a great finish, if she meant it. But Oxford just now got to, right at the end of first half extra time, Oxford have got 15 minutes now to rescue the season.
Haynes.
They're not going to do it like that.
Goes for goal, you suspect. But that's the good thing, there is still time. There is still time for Oxford United to get back in this and force penalties. There will be a short break coming up very soon. And then 15 minutes to extend their season. But no matter what happens from here, they've put in a magnificent performance against the side.
They have. They've not been outclassed whatsoever.
I think we did suspect, Martin, didn't we? Although it's not over yet, that perhaps extra time would favour the side from the Championship.
Yeah, I mean they have looked fitter in this last 15 minutes. Slightly surprised that Liam Gilbert hasn't used his bench more than he has, but maybe that's a sign of a lack of available bodies on the bench to replace the first teamers. Presumably there'll be a very quick turnaround. I'm sure that back in the day they used to just swap in straight away at half-time extra time. They seem to be having team talks and things now. But there's a substitute warming up, but whether she's going to come on or not.
One final push, isn't it? One final push for Oxford United.
Like I say before, they've got nothing to lose. They might, it's.
That's the thing. At this stage, you might as well push forward, and if you lose 3-1, then it doesn't really matter, does it?
That's right.
So
if it does go to penalties, if Oxford can find an equaliser, can take it to penalties, then it's a lottery, as they say.
Well, I'm not sure it is really. We've seen Charlton's finishing.
That's true.
It just depends on who's got the nerve, and I think really that would be 50-50.
Well, I
think United's technical ability isn't any worse really. Just
but if it comes to nerve, then you maybe think it favours Oxford because
possibly
they are the underdogs, and therefore we just
that's the thing.
Relax.
You can see Charlton are still very much a work in progress under Karen Hills, who has only just come in.
Yeah, they've got some very good players, no doubting it, and they've shown a lot of their quality today. But Oxford have stood up well to the challenge and could easily have taken the lead themselves in the first half of extra time.
Yep. No, they could have done. You do suspect they'll have maybe one more chance.
You'd hope so. 15 minutes to go. You'd hope that they have more than one chance. You'd hope they can, pin Charlton on the back foot and maybe create a bit for themselves. Cheryl Williams that's warming up. No sign that she's coming on imminently.
Interesting, isn't it? Liam Gilbert clearly feels that they can go the distance at the moment anyway. That some of the forward players, likes of Allen, has been on the whole time, and Cheryl Williams, you say, vastly experienced player, to be useful in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have the pace of someone like, say, Oliver or Allen, but like I say, she's got the know-how, and she's a very good finisher as well. But as things stand, there are not going to be any changes at the start of the second half of extra time for Oxford United.
So they go again for the final time, perhaps this season. Oxford United, 15 minutes.
What are we going to do on Sunday afternoons if they lose? I don't know. At least the pubs are open now.
That is a very good point. But of course we'd like them to keep going.
Not quite right, yeah.
Not till next month though, the next tie, so they'll have a bit of a break. I think it's been tough, hasn't it? Such a long break and then 3 games in quick succession.
It can't do them any good, really. So it has to massively favour Charlton, the fact that they just managed to keep playing throughout and training throughout. Which again shows what credit there is to Oxford for staying with them for such a long time of the game.
Here's Legg against her former side. Again, well won by Hines. Hines with the challenge. Looked like she'd won the ball, but again, just maybe a little bit too strong for the referee's liking.
She was on the ground. Maybe the referee didn't like this. Maybe studs were showing something. I don't know. But, whatever. Whatever.
It's getting to that portion of the game, isn't it? We've been sat here for a long time together, Martin.
I know. It's been very pleasant from my point of view, anyway.
Well, we've witnessed a really good game of football.
We have.
Clifford shot charged
Well, the other disappointing thing is if Oxford do go out now, they've played really well, but they're not going to have anything to capitalise on. They're not going to have any games to play to sort of take this into.
Well, that's the big shame, isn't it? Lauren Haynes venturing forward there.
Well, why not? And still no activity on the. Oh, there is an activity on the Oxford bench. Looks like 2 players are coming on, including Williams.
From a Charlton perspective as well, Martin, they'll want to not do say what Gillingham did yesterday and drop deep and invite pressure.
Well, that's true.
Which is exactly what they're not doing. Here is Godden, who at the moment is the match winner. Clifford into Forjaw. Legg twisting away from the challenge of Lauren Haynes. It's going to be a throw to Charlton deep inside the Oxford half. And yes, it looks like United are going to make a couple of changes.
They're making them now, I think. Yep. Or not.
I think Cheryl Williams is one of them.
Yeah.
Play goes on at the moment.
And Emily Wallace is the other one.
Oh, chance here for King to wrap it up.
Great defending from Sims.
Really putting King off her stride, but she's come away with it. The Charlton number 9. Lofted in towards the box, only Dory in there. Allen. Not the ball really that Kat Beaver wanted, and she's given it straight to Powell. Now Clifford onto Godden. Ellie Dory.
Yeah, Oxford don't want to be pinned back in their own half now. They want to be getting at the other end of the pitch.
Oliver, really the only yellow shirt pressing deep in the Charlton half. Forjaw just run it out of play, and so United can make the substitutions.
Yep. So that's Kat Beaver going off, which isn't a surprise really, I guess, given the stresses of extra time. And Georgia Hayes is going off as well.
And Williams coming on.
Presumably that'll be Emily Wallace going into defence to replace Kat Beaver. Another attacking substitution, which you have to do, really.
Well, exactly at this point. It looks like Lauren Haynes has dropped back to a back 3. And they need more attacking players on the pitch, and Williams is now the furthest forward. Former Reading player, won promotion to WSL with them. Cheryl Williams, former Spurs as well. It's McLaughlin. Wins the throw. Oliver down under the challenge, and a free kick is awarded. United got to take advantage of these situations.
Yeah.
The clock ticks towards the final 10 minutes of this cup tie. 2-1 Charlton lead.
It's a good position for a free kick, whether Oxford can get a yellow head on the ball.
Well, Allen is on the edge of the penalty area with no one marking her, and we saw what she did last week, so this is going to be interesting. It's Haynes. Floats one in. It was Sims who was closest to it. Mackenzie shows good strength to keep possession.
It's a throw by the corner flag. Interesting play from the Oxford United right back there.
Certainly was. Mackenzie.
Ball gone out for a goal kick. Or was it offside? I can't see.
Not sure why Haynes didn't pull it back for Allen there.
Yeah, that would have been
in acres of space, but clearly felt there was a better option.
In the playbook, obviously.
Same end, wasn't it?
That's right. Charlton taking their time over the goal kick, as you'd expect.
Oh, now Sims, that was very late.
It was very late.
On Dory.
I don't think it was deliberate, but...
no, she was watching the ball. Dory got there first, and...
She's in a lot of pain. You can hear her crying from here. Physio straight over. And a yellow card for Sims.
Ouch.
Yeah, you can hear the crack of the boot on the leg from here.
Yes.
Also, it gives Charlton another set piece to get the ball in the Oxford area, which is not really what you want at this stage of the game.
Time ticking away for Oxford United and their hopes of prolonging their season. Although I think some of them will find it of a blessing after the exertions today.
Very
Need
possibly.
to rest
yeah,
for a little bit.
I assume that they'll be back in for training at some stage over the summer. But,
yeah.
Yeah, nice. Time for a nice long holiday. I suppose a lot of the girls work for a living as well, so they have to be...
well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
There'll be a few bumps and bruises as they head to work tomorrow.
Yes.
Lauren Haynes is at work, isn't she?
That's true, yes.
This is where she must spend 90% of her time here. It's the head coach of the female programme here. Well, thankfully Dory's okay. But yeah, took a pretty big whack from Sims.
Still wasn't very happy about it, but she is fit and up and will return to the fray. Meanwhile, Powell has the free kick for Charlton.
Plays it short to leg. Hines gets there first. Dory is waved back on. Wilson sends it forward. King isolated. Mackenzie. Sampson gets her head to the ball and then
Clacton just couldn't control it on her chest then.
Smashes it clear. Here's Godden. Lining up the shot.
Not as spectacular as a last effort, but had a lot of space there. She could have taken it on a bit further maybe before she had a go. But,
She had runners forward as well.
Yeah. But that's what Oxford haven't been doing. They've not been taking these speculative efforts. They've tried to work positions, but they haven't really had a...
Yeah, not taking those low percentage shots, are
No,
they?
that's right.
That's well worked. Leg. Take it to the corner flag, but it's a throw into Oxford United. 5 minutes remaining.
Plus a bit of stoppage time for the injury to Dory there. You'd hope that the referee would be generous with that, unless we're drawing.
United need to get it up the pitch though. At the moment, struggling to get it out of their own half. Falls kindly again for Godden. It's being well tracked. And there's Dory. And into the stands it goes.
Yeah, oh, another substitution for Oxford.
Sims coming off.
And Brittany Gill coming on, who's one of the RTC products, I believe, on the development.
That's right.
Squad.
She had her own season curtailed. She broke her wrist in pre-season, and she was only just getting back to full fitness, and then
she did come on last Sunday against
happened.
Brillericky and had a reasonable game, so didn't have long to get into the game, but she made a bit of an impact, which is what you want.
she's run offside, but far forward is Cheryl Williams. The throw in goes Charlton's way. United running out of time and opportunities to get themselves back in.
Still battling.
Certainly are. McLaughlin. Charlton just about managed to
There's no one
avoid
up there for Charlton.
the corner.
Ooh.
Haynes tries to take control, but shouldered off the ball.
Yeah, it's out
King
for an
can't.
throw in. So
Yep, can't keep it in.
So just under 3 minutes plus stoppage time to try and get their season back alive again. You do wonder what may have been if there were promotion and relegation from Oxford this season, if they'd have, as they seem likely to, pick Watford to the title, how they would cope against championship level
I think
teams.
it would have been Watford's and United would have been between them for sure.
Yeah.
And I think they've shown that they can compete against lower level championship at the very least. So
Not too many London Bees teams around, unfortunately.
no, it's a real shame for them though.
Oh, it is,
So
yeah. Oh, so still battling away there.
Well, here's Kaylee Hines.
Oh.
Down she goes, and the referee is unmoved.
Yeah. Someone corner, they're shouting.
90 seconds of normal time remaining.
Taking it to the corner as requested.
Godden surrounded by yellow shirts. Free kick has gone to Oxford United, but the ball is down the other end of the field.
Mm-hmm. They weren't going to give it back. So.
Some of the Charlton outfield players are yelling at their goalkeeper to leave it.
The dark arts.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
No.
Haynes sends it forward. "30 seconds of normal time, of extra time remaining." Hines.
Didn't find the pass she wanted there, I don't
Well, I
think.
just ran out of options, didn't she? She was
Yeah.
absolutely surrounded by red shirts. A lot of tired legs out there now, understandably so. It's a loose pass. Gilles buffeted.
Did well. Did
Kept
well
her
under pressure.
feet.
Yeah.
Hines. Has to find Wilson. Out of play. Into stoppage time. The end of extra time. Now or never for Oxford United, who've battled so well. It looks like they're going to fall just short.
It does. I mean, there's still a little bit of time to go, I guess. There was that lengthy stoppage before when Dory got injured. But it's all in the hands of the referee now as to how long is added. And Oxford need to get the ball back up the other end of the pitch. That's not the way to do it. Lacking that little bit of composure sometimes, I think, in defence, Oxford. But it's to be expected against maybe Championship opposition.
They've given a really good account of themselves. It's going to be Charlton, it looks like, who are going to progress to the next round, either Wolves or Blackburn, and they have the end of the Championship season, and they'll be hoping to improve on their position from now to the end of the season and beyond when they turn professional. It'll be interesting to see how many of these players are kept on.
Yeah, I mean, you'd assume under new management they'd be looking to have a bit of a rebuild in the summer.
Well, who can be kept on, because a lot of them simply wouldn't be able to go full-time if they have jobs and
That's true.
other bits and bobs. It's always very interesting to see the transition when women's clubs go from semi-professional to fully professional. You'd hope to see some of them able to make that step up. There is Forgeot.
Yeah, the Oxford players are looking a little bit dead on their feet now. I think.
I'm just watching them, to be honest.
Yeah.
They've been an incredible effort.
They've given everything, to be fair. There's nothing on the pitch, have they? They've given 100%. So it might have been interesting to see if someone like Molly Peters had been fit, whether her pace on the ball would have made a difference. But it's just ifs and maybes, unfortunately.
Just needs to be a bit more clinical when those chances did come, because they haven't had too many.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably what they expected against the side in a higher division.
I think so, yeah.
They might have just one last throw of the dice here, perhaps, if they can get the ball where they need it to be.
Referee's blowing a whistle, I think. Yeah. That's it.
That is it, all over. And Oxford United's season ends in defeat, but they can hold their heads high after going toe-to-toe for so long against a side in the Championship in the Women's FA Cup. Their journey has ended, but really, really good performance and an excellent game.
It was an excellent game, yeah. I mean, I think it showed the women's game in a really good light. Some good attacking play from both teams. I think Charlton probably were better, but I think they were the deserved winners. But Oxford, like you say, hold their heads up high. they won't be feeling like that now. They'll be feeling gutted, but you know, they gave it all, and by no means disgraced.
Absolutely not. Well said, Martin. And that's about it from us. But we'll be back, I'm sure, and hopefully very soon when the women's season gets started back up after the summer break. And if this is anything to go by, Oxford United will be in good shape.
You think so, yeah. And like I say, they look to build on their squad, get a bit more experience under their belts, the ones that are playing at the moment. And yeah, I think that they can look forward to next season with anticipation.
And so will we. My thanks to everyone for joining us on the Oxford United YouTube stream. It has ended in defeat for Oxford United, who are out of the FA Women's Cup. They've been defeated by Charlton after extra time by 2-1.